Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Fantasy Football University, FFU, coming at you yet again in week 14 of the fantasy football season. Big week. Let's go, everybody.
Yeah, and a big FFU to Christian McCaffrey having to be on bye this week.
It wasn't hurt all year, so count
I
your
know.
victories as they are.
Yeah, we
I
are.
am Mr. Bildakusis. I'm here with Mr. Tom Lang. Mr. Lang, it sounds like you're ready for week 14 here.
Yeah. I've got Christian McCaffrey across the board in pretty much every single league. And for some reason, one of my leagues had a trade deadline of week 14, end of week
Oh,
14. So I parlayed and I traded Christian McCaffrey away for great assets.
nice. And well, I mean, for 1 week, if you absolutely needed that win, it's going to pay off in a big way.
Well,
I mean,
it was a league that I was a little, I won't say I was weak at running back because I had a lot of RB2s, but I was able to parlay and trade away the best wide receiver slash best running back in that league, a onesie player, for Josh Jacobs and Bucky Irving.
nice.
Yep.
Oh, I think that was the trade that you were like halfway discussing with me for a few
Yep.
weeks or whatever.
And I decided I sent the trade and then I pulled it after a conversation. And then the guy sent it literally the morning of Sunday, and it just wasn't able to process. So I was able to maneuver something. I mean, actually one of the players did actually process. I wasn't able to utilize what you call it. I wasn't able to utilize Josh Jacobs. But I actually didn't play Bucky Irving. I didn't need to last week, and I still won. So I'm in first place in that league, and I don't have to deal with a bye this week.
Okay. Well, it would have been nice if you absolutely needed that win. It would have been a way to capitalize on, hey, he's going to be on bye. I need the win, whatever. You
Well,
know,
I do need to win to secure the number one seed. But actually, I've been thinking in this league because eight teams make the playoff. There's actually no bye. Um, I might want to maneuver. Maybe I won't say I want to lose this week, but there's a possibility I may want to lessen my expectation of winning this week, so I play a lesser product next week.
okay. Well, before we lose all of our listeners, let's focus on the wider fantasy world.
Uh-huh.
So as everybody could tell, as excited we are about week 14, like this is it. Like this is go get in your playoffs time. This is
Yep.
go secure yourself a bye time. We're excited. We're focused on our teams too. In a couple of our leagues, we're focused on that stuff too. So we're right with you. And
Yeah.
we've got an
And
interesting slate this week.
we're both in the mix for making the playoff. And I'm actually I'm the lesser of them, but in just in five out of six leagues I've made the playoff and I secured a playoff spot. But in one out of six leagues, I am right now at the eighth position that can make my way into the sixth position. Potentially if things fall in my lap. Last week, was a really rough week. I got outscored by two times. So I needed to win and we're both in that hometown league and it's gonna see what happens this week.
We will see what happens. My position in that league. I'm in the exact same thing, except it's actually easier for me to end up in the five because of the guys who might lose, like who they're playing. Then they have real bad matchups, so we'll
Yeah.
see. But anything
There's
can
some
happen.
juggernauts in that league too. Somehow some
I mean,
trades got processed.
yeah. So we're gonna jump right in here, and I just want to mention to everybody, like, because this is something that we discussed in the off season, something about not overpaying attention to projections.
Yep.
Because sometimes the sites are all over the place. Like that's not how you should think about rankings per se in your head or tiers in your head. Don't go by that because it'll throw you off. There'll be guys with projections for 11 points versus 6 points. You'll be like, why am I not going for that guy? You go with what the narrative is. You go with what the explanation is and what the requirements are. So and what the requirements that you need for your team are. So we'll get into that because there's definitely a player in this first team that we'll get to that applies to that.
Oh
So
yeah.
you ready to jump right in?
Let's jump right into week 14.
Oh,
Last week of the regular season.
last week of the regular season for most leagues. So just to reiterate, there are four teams on bye this week: the Panthers, the Patriots, the Giants, and the 49ers. So there's two less games. And as another quick reminder, all of our must starts and probably starts will be posted in the description of this episode's video on YouTube. So please check us out there as well. Very, very happy to have you guys with us. So let's jump right in. Game one, Thursday night football, which may or may not be the game of the week here. We've got the Dallas Cowboys at the Detroit Lions. Detroit are home favorites, minus 3 points. The over-under there is 54 and a half points. This is going to be great. I want pieces in this game. So Dallas, you're playing again. It's another one where you're basically playing the whole offense. Javonte Williams, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Fergalicious, and Dak Prescott. On the Detroit side, you're playing Jahmyr Gibbs and you're playing Jameson Williams. We'll get to more wide receivers in just a moment. And absolutely, you're playing Jared Goff. He should have no reason why he can't light this up. Dak and Goff might finish as number one and number two this week. This is gonna be such a good game.
Mhm.
Um, Probably starts now. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are calling it. At least I'm calling it. Isaac Tesla is about to get you to your playoffs, get you your bye, whatever you needed. Isaac Tesla is a probably start. Um, they are playing games with the whole Amon-Ra thing. Now, I know might be the competitive advantage thing, Tommy. Amon-Ra St. Brown is not playing this week. I
Yeah,
don't.
no, I agree. Amara is not playing this week. I honestly don't know if there is. I mean, unless I say not a reason to play, because I mean, you don't want to put out a guy that's 50%. And even I would say this, even if he does play, he's a
Oof,
decoy.
right.
And that lessens the expectation, obviously, for him still, I think. So even if he's out there, it may not be for long because again, his injury was semi gruesome. I won't say it was like weeks to weeks loss, but I mean, it's a short, I mean, obviously it was a full week because they played last Thursday. Um, I would say if this was a Sunday game, there's a possibility he could play, but I don't know if this makes sense for them to throw him out there. This is going to be a competitive game. Um, it is in Detroit. I do think Dallas does pull this game out. I honestly
Really?
think I think Dallas runs the table. And being a Giants fan, it's hard to say any other team in the NFC East runs the table, but
You just
I
want
think
anti-Eagles. Yeah.
no, I think I think they're locked in. I think they're locked in and they have a great team. George Pickens was a great pickup this offseason. Um, and it's just made their team better. So I think that I think they're going to win this game. But going back to Tesla, um, I don't think Amara plays, and again, even if he does, I think Tesla still produces the how we're anticipating him to produce. He is a red zone target, and he's shown that. But I do think that he's going to be a deep threat as well too. He's going to have some basically out routes. He's going to catch some balls, that are going to be really fantasy relevant this week. Um, I really feel like his floor is 11 at minimum points and
Absolutely.
a half point PPR. I think his max, I think his ceiling is probably in the 25s.
I know we should just to peel back the curtain a little bit. I know, yesterday I think you might have been a little more worried than about the Amon-Ra thing than you were letting on. The whole day yesterday, I was convincing Tommy of this the whole day, and it's just it at this point, and I'm glad we're all on the same page. Like it's so good, it's so good. It's pick right up and go win you your you get you to your
Yeah.
playoffs. We're so excited about
And
it.
and and Isaac Tesla is
And
he's
he's very
literally
talented.
yeah, he's very talented and he's just he's a battery. He's an endless battery. So, yes, you have to play him.
I'm sure on the Sunday live show we're going to get a lot of questions on start him or start this guy, which we'll happily field. I'll just mention just for everybody, everywhere that I picked up Tesla, I'm playing him, and I'm sure Tommy's in a similar situation.
Well,
There's,
unfortunately on Sunday it won't matter because he's already played.
oh, that's true. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Well, for most of the people who may or may not be watching this, probably the answer is Tesla. I mean, you're not going to be asking us who am I starting, CeeDee
Let me
Lamb or
let
Tesla.
me put
Like
it this way. I will be creating a short just for this specific thing. Start Isaac Tesla over
most
well,
over just about most people, right?
yeah, I
We
mean,
got
like, let's just put it. Let me ask you this. So for our listeners that are not going to be able to ask this question, would
sure.
you start Isaac Tesla over Terry McLaurin this week?
Uh, well, we've got McLaurin as a must start to
I
later,
understand that.
so probably, man, I think for safety, maybe. Yeah, because
Do you start Isaac Tesla over T Higgins?
if T. Higgins is playing in the game, no, I would not. T. Higgins
Okay.
is must.
Do you
Everybody,
start Isaac
everybody in
Tesla?
the
Well,
probably start category, I'm starting
I
him over.
I understand that, but you just said you'll start Isaac Tesla over McLaurin, so that's a must start for
No,
Terry
I think
McLaurin.
that's so close. I think McLaurin. Yeah.
Okay. Do you start Isaac Tesla over DK Metcalf this week?
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
start Isaac Tesla over Marvin Harrison this week if he plays?
Yes.
Last one. Do you start Isaac Tesla over Emeka Ibuka this week?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's move on.
Every guy in that probably start list that we've got, I'm starting Tesla over. Every one of them.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, so we can't sing his praises enough. So and just to bolster that, we'll talk to general options now. Like this is the highest over under of the week. Both teams absolutely have to win to keep their playoff hopes alive. This is what you want. This is exactly what you want. The Dallas defense is improved, but they're improved mostly on run defense.
Yes.
Absolutely
It's
not
their
pass
rush.
defense.
It's their rush and their pass rush defense. That's what they've improved on. So they're going to get to the quarterback. They're going to have to make him make decisions. But again, Tesla is
Yeah.
that guy that's going to catch those little short routes that could break one loose as well too. And again, you have Jamar Gibbs. You have, I think this could be a decent game for Montgomery as well too. He's not technically in our probably starts, but I do think that if you need a flex this week, he's not an RB2 for me. But if you need a flex, a possible flex person, I think that he could be somebody that you could throw in there. But again, it is tough to make that decision on a Thursday for a flex.
Yeah, let's get to general options just to bolster that point. I agree exactly with your sentiment. I still hold true to what we say that unless you think they're going to smash a team, it's not worth playing Montgomery this year.
No,
And
but you
I
were
don't think
you,
they're going to smash them.
but we
I
didn't
mean,
think he was going to smash last week, but he did. He did fairly well. They utilized
eh,
him. They utilized him a little bit more in the run game and in the passing game than they have been throughout the year. Now, again, this could be a transition to savor Gibbs for the playoff, right? They have Montgomery to a point like where he's not been utilized like he was the past couple of years. The last thing that they want is Gibbs to basically find an injury before, as you get closer and creep to the playoffs. That's what happened last year. Remember? So, it happened
maybe.
it happened previous year. So maybe they start implementing Montgomery a little bit more. It is risky, but I do think that Montgomery has an opportunity to put some decent points up.
Would you he's probably a good barometer. Would you play Montgomery or Rodriguez?
um, so this week Rodriguez is going against Minnesota.
Hmm. At
Um,
Minnesota. Good question there.
yeah, it is a good question. I honestly, Rodriguez is going to get the touches, but I don't think he's going to get the touches in the passing game. I think the value in the passing game. So it just depends on, um, it depends on your league setting. If it's a standard league, I'm going Rodriguez. If it's a half point or full point PPR, I'm going Montgomery.
All right, two more quick start sits for you. Montgomery or the Jordan Mason.
Montgomery.
Okay, Montgomery or Woody Marks.
I'm going Montgomery.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Woody Marks is going against basically Kansas City. I don't want to play any running back against Kansas City.
All right. Just to reiterate on the Detroit thing, we could talk about Tesla all day long. To reiterate this, so Amon-Ra's going to be out, Laporta's out on IR,
Yep.
and Khalif Raymond is out. So if there's any more in a game where this high of an over under, I mean the it should be to Tommy's point. Maybe I should feel a little bit better about Montgomery. It's going to be a consolidation of stuff going on in Detroit. So Gibbs smash play, Williams smash play, Goff and Tesla. It's going to be good. And Montgomery if you want to take that shot.
And our
Dallas.
and our and our hometown boy Anthony Fersker has made his way to tight end 3. So
Oh,
yeah, there he is.
nice. On the Dallas side, we've gone through this before. No deeper end Dallas guys that we like. We've tried that train. We don't like it, so stay away from it. This is
Yep.
gonna be such a great game. We spent a lot of time on this game because it was worth it. This is gonna be a good game. So let's go to a game that is not going to be as good. We've got the Miami Dolphins at the New York Jets. The Dolphins are road favorites minus 3 points. The over under there is 41 and a half points. Not that many points in this game, and there are some weather concerns here. So on the Dolphins side, you're playing Devon Achane, you're playing Jalen Waddle. On the Jets side, I mean, you know the deal. You're playing Breece Hall, and hopefully he does better than is advertised, I guess, in this game. Maybe the over-under doesn't scare me as much. Probably starts because of the line. There's not that many implied points for the Jets, so you could probably start the Dolphins defense. However, it's a lot of people online and people in my own family think that the Jets could make this more. They could beat the Dolphins here, put up more points than is advertised. Do you hold true to that? Uh,
I think it's going to be a competitive game, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be
you think it
as
hits the
weak.
over, maybe?
Oh yeah, because honestly, the way that both those teams have been playing, they've been playing competitively. And Miami they're on an upward trend. They were really rough early in the year, and they've made a turn of a tide since they went overseas. So I think that they're going to score points. The Jets are going to be competitive with Tyrod Taylor. The defense has been playing decent compared to what they had prior to with the losses of Gardner and also um, Williams. But yeah, I mean, I think that this could be a good game. And honestly, it's just saying mostly cloudy, 35 degrees, 6 mile an hour winds. Nothing showing right now. That's going to be crazy detrimental to what they were saying in Cleveland last week of the snow globe game, which didn't turn out to be. So I think that this could be a nice game. Now again, Miami doesn't play good in the cold for some reason. Just it's weird, right? Because they play in Miami all day long. They should just put they put the AC on to like 32 in their dome that they play in, they practice in.
I don't know. I might disagree with you. I actually think this game hits the under. I don't know if it necessarily changes guys that we think about in terms you could play, but take of that what you will. We got one other probably start for you guys. That's Darren Waller. He came back last week, had a little bit of success. Maybe he can have some blow up weeks and
I
get
think
back to
this is
his
a
former
blow.
self.
I think this is a blow up week for Darren Waller. I think he finishes as a top five tight end.
So if you're feeling good about Waller and if you're feeling good about Waddle, let's go to the general options. So it doesn't matter. You don't would never play Tua.
No, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if I have I feel like there's better options than Tua this week. I think it's he's a decent start. But I think that you have better stability options.
Well, you said you were more excited about Tyrod in the same game here.
Correct. I think Tyrod, if I had to choose between one of those streaming quarterbacks, I'd probably go Tyrod uh over Tua.
Okay. Uh,
And with that being
I said I
said,
don't want to do either of them, but
I feel fairly good about Mechie and also Mitchell. Mitchell, I feel better about over Mechie, because I do think that this is going to be a game that they're just gonna throw it. They're gonna sling it, and hopefully Mitchell could catch more than 30% of his balls.
both Mitchell and Mechie were kind of darlings for the last couple of weeks on the waiver wire. It'll be interesting to see how they do here at home in a matchup that's, the Dolphins are not world killers, but world beaters or anything.
Hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see how they do. My opinion is see what your options are and see if you want to take that shot. A big start sit question this week was like that I was looking online this morning was Tesla versus Adonai Mitchell. I'm like, it's not even a question.
Oh
It's
yeah,
Tesla. It's
that's
Tesla.
why I'm playing Tesla.
Yeah. So take the options as you will. Um, let's go to the next game. We got the Seattle Seahawks at the Atlanta Falcons. Seattle are road favorites minus 7 points. The over-under is 44 and a half points. Not that many points for the Falcons here, so must start the Seahawks defense. They've been must start for however many weeks in a row here. They've been great. Other must starts, JSN, of course. On the Atlanta side, must start Bijan Robinson. Let's go to probably starts. Given the line and given how they've been performing the last couple weeks, they've been like basically alternating between 11 and 9 points for the last however many weeks. Both Walker and Charbonnet, we've got as probably starts here. I know that you have a deference to Charbonnet. I have a deference to Glass Walker. So, you guys take of that what you will. Other probably.
Don't get me wrong. I think Walker is very talented. He's luckily he's been healthy this year. And I think the reason is because they've been going 50-50. If they weren't
That's a
going
good point.
50-50, he probably would have been Ken Glass Walker very, very quickly.
Yeah. Other probably starts here. We've got Sam Darnold as a probably start. The Seahawks just played the Vikings, and Sam Darnold did not have the best game. But honestly, watching the game, they didn't really need him. Now we called it out. We're like, hey, they were going to showcase him. They were going to make Minnesota feel bad about getting rid of him. It was a defensive game, and Minnesota had no offense. I mean, interception
Yeah,
after interception, defensive touchdown, I mean, they just didn't need to do anything. They're going to need to do some stuff here at home against Atlanta. I don't know which Atlanta is going to show up, dominating at home, beat the Bills
I
Atlanta or
I
30 to
think this
nothing.
is I think this is a fantastic game for Darnold, a bounce back, fantastic game for him.
Think you're right. Well, we got him as a probably start, and we got one other probably start in this game, and I'm starting to hate it because it's becoming not predictable. Kyle Pitts. So we had him as a probably start a couple weeks in a row, and then he failed a couple of weeks in a row, and then we finally kicked him off. They were like, doesn't matter, Drake London in or out, doesn't matter, and then he goes and has a nice game this past week against the Jets. Okay, so we got him as a probably start now. If Drake London is in, maybe I don't necessarily feel the same way. You guys take your shot. I'm not going to be playing him because I've had enough of him this year. So you guys could take that. We were identifying him as a probably start. You take of that as what you will. Um, Other options here. So I can't see Drake London playing in this game. So otherwise, we would have had him already mentioned. So because of that, do you even remotely? I know you and I are not going to take the shot on Mooney, but I know some people will.
I would not do that at all. Even with, some of the guys on bye this week, as in, you know, Wandale Robinson, Diggs, Ted McMillan.
Right.
I would not go that route.
No, I would not. We had him as a drop candidate. He couldn't do it against the Jets with all those other people out. Let it go. But let's talk about some of the other Seahawks options. I mean, it's not, I don't think it's going to come from Shaheed, but there will be some other value there. Maybe it's going to come out of Cooper Kupp. Maybe it's going to come out of AJ Barner. Both are options. So, take of it what you will. I'm more excited about Barner because it's a scarce position where you could get some value. But I know that Tommy's not that crazy about Barner. So
Mhm.
maybe take your options as they are. Tommy, is this a game where you could throw in Algier as an emergency running back play?
I mean, I feel like any game you really could throw in Algier as a flex. I think he's stealing touches away from Bijan, and Atlanta's not going anywhere this year again. So I don't see why they would just run him to the ground. There's no reason for it. You got to savor your franchise player. I mean, they've been savoring him all year, so that's what they do. Is they have a capable running back in Algier to back him, and it's pretty much a 50-50 outside of the passing game.
Yeah, unfortunately for Bijan owners. Imagine how many points he would have if that wasn't the case.
I mean, he would
Um,
be he'd be the best running back in football outside of Christian McCaffrey this year.
or Taylor, I guess. Well, he's close to it anyway.
Well, Gibbs has been running the board for the past 3 weeks.
He
He's the
has.
best.
We'll
So
see. We'll see how that ends. Let's go to the next game. We got the New Orleans Saints at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay are home favorites, -8.5 points. The over-under is 42.5 points. So yeah, you play your Buccaneers defense here. Other must starts, Bucky Irving, he's back. Let's go. You're playing him. And
mhm.
Baker Mayfield, who, in my opinion, has the best closing quarterback schedule of any quarterback for the rest of the season. So
Yeah,
he should be good for
yeah.
your.
Tampa Bay has a fantastic end of season, end of playoff,
Yep,
playoff run kind of schedule. So
coming up.
it's gonna be nice.
We only got one must start for the Saints. That is Chris Olave, the target king himself. Let's go to probably starts. Probably starts. This is where we've got a Buka now. He's no longer a must, and it's just been bad the last couple weeks. And I don't know if it's necessarily him. It's just been I guess a product of necessity. Baker's doing what he's got to do to get the win. He's, spreading it as it needs to. And now they've got more options coming back. So obviously Godwin's now fully integrated.
Mhm.
Um, Evans is going to be coming back at some
Well,
point here.
Well, I mean, the other thing is, I mean, you say he's spreading the ball. Well, he's spreading the ball also to Emeka Egbuka. Emeka Egbuka, if in the past 3 weeks had 25 targets, he only had 12 receptions, so he's not catching half his balls. That's a problem in itself. So if a player is not catching to the same capability as another player, as in AKA Chris Godwin,
Or Tez
who
Johnson or
has,
whatever.
well, but I think Godwin has taken his role back over. It's inevitable. He has the chemistry again. Emeka Egbuka is a great talent, but I think the chemistry with Godwin is just there, and then obviously with Evans potentially leaning back, and then I don't think this is the year that you're going to see McMillan be super productive. But again, they're both leaning to
Maybe.
come back, so Egbuka is somebody I would steer clear from right now.
I I don't know if I'm going to go as far as you. I mean, he's super talented. In a game where they have this many implied points for somebody like Amika Ibuka or Begbu, as Gronkowski would say, you gotta. We'll keep him there as probably starts. But like I said, I'm gladly playing Tesla over him. Just gladly,
Well, let me ask
not
you
even a
this: you
thought.
play you play Jacoby Myers or Emeka Egbuka this week?
Myers, Myers.
Yeah, 100%. I
Yep,
just want to make sure we're on the same page.
yep. Same page of that. We got one probably start for the Saints, and that is Jawan Johnson himself. So again, we got the two meh, and we're waiting for the yay. So we think this could be a yay. It's a consolidation of work in New Orleans. We'll see how that goes. So let's get to other options here. So yeah, let's just start right at the Bucks, Tommy. So you mentioned Chris Godwin. Are you trying to get him in here?
You got to play him.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
you got to play him.
Okay. I mean, we could call out other options as as things. How about this? Would you play Chris Godwin or a tertiary option in Green Bay? So let's say Romeo Dobbs.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Okay. Would you play him or Xavier Worthy?
Clearly play him.
Okay. Him or Cooper Cup.
Chris Godwin.
Okay. So Chris
Do
Godwin,
do
Chris
I
Godwin.
play do I play Chris Godwin or Emeka Egbuka? I play Chris Godwin.
All right. I wouldn't go that far. All right. Last one for you. Chris Godwin or Troy Franklin?
Um, it'd be tough. But I'm still going Chris Godwin.
Okay. All right. Let's go to some more other options here. So New Orleans, I mean, the running back situation. So is Kamara going to play, Tommy?
Alvin Kamara is not going to play, I think. I
Okay,
think I don't think there's a reason for him to play as well too. And even if he does play, kind of situation, like I think it's the same situational thing with Amon Ra. If he does play, I still think Neal takes over
decent enough
with the
shot. Yeah.
heavier carries.
Okay. Okay. Would you play Devin Neal or Montgomery?
See, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a good
Um,
question.
I would probably play Devin Neal in this game.
Prepping you for Sunday Live, man. I'm getting you going.
You
Okay.
can't prep me for Sunday Live. You know why?
Why?
Because Montgomery would have already played.
All right. All right. Um, Last other option that's even worth mentioning. So you mentioned the ascension of Godwin and everything else going on. Is Tez Johnson still an emergency deeper league shot?
Deep league. Honestly, I don't like the production from him ever since there's been more options. So you're really just kind of looking for a boom, boom, boom play from him. But I don't think it's gonna happen, to be honest. I think that again, there's too many hands in the pot, and with Bucky being back, this could be a heavier running game.
Okay. I was actually about to move on, but I just wanted a quick mention of Devon Vele. So, and not to make this all about us, in our high stakes league, the one where we absolutely have to win to get that bye, our opponent is starting Devon Vele against us.
And good
Now,
luck.
I was initially encouraged by that to be like, okay, I thought Vele was like a 1 week wonder here. The Saints are going to be, but I am worried that magically just game script wise, he just ends up with two touchdowns or something. So
It's
I
not
think
happening.
I'm kind of with Tommy here, and I'm hoping that it doesn't happen. But if you want to take a shot, maybe he could end up with a big game, but it's extremely boom busty and it's a lower shot. So
I
take of that what
think
you
I
will.
think uh I think that is a real long shot.
Okay, well he's rolling with him against us, so we'll try to Try to maybe
Okay.
that'll balance out the 90,000 points he gets from JSN this week. So let's go to the next game. We got the Washington Commanders at the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota's home favorites -1.5 points. The over-under is 42.5 points. This line has moved around a lot. I don't know if that's necessarily due to whatever Jaden Daniels news there might have been. Maybe it might have been different people just betting different things. Maybe it might have been the JJ McCarthy news that he's definitely going to play. I don't know. I know where it's at now, and it doesn't necessarily change how I would have felt about the game. It's going to be a lower scoring game. We got one must start in the game, the aforementioned Terry McLaurin. We talked about it. So he comes back and he has an amazing game, right? And he's Terry McLaurin, right? So no issues. You play him, I guess. It is
Mhm.
what it is. So you play him. Probably starts here. Because of the line, we've got both the Commanders and the Vikings as probably starts. I am a little worried that Mariota could still have a great game, but he can have a good game himself, and then like maybe they only put up 21 points. So judge your defensive options as you have them. Other probably starts here. This is where we've got Jefferson. We're going to have Jefferson as a probably start, probably rest of season. The upside is capped now, guys. Sorry. It is what it is.
I think it's capped, but I feel better about JJ, even though JJ McCarthy is not a great quarterback. I do feel that JJ McCarthy brings a little bit more of a presence to Justin Jefferson to actually see some sort of production,
Maybe.
because he will hyper target Justin Jefferson. So I think that especially against a aged Washington defense, I think it could be a good thing for Jefferson to recap and get into a better groove. But again, it's not a great season for him.
Two other probably starts to mention at Washington. Zach Ertz, who we talked about. I can't ignore 13 targets, 10 catches for however many, catches and however many yards that he had. But we've got Deebo Samuel here. And, Deebo Samuel has been, I guess you would call it semi-consistent as of a little bit late, but I keep saying this to Tommy every single week. I'm like, he's a probably start, but I don't feel good about it. Am I wrong for having these, trepidations?
I don't know if you're wrong, but I don't know, man. I think it is very difficult to lean that way.
In one of my other leagues, I'm playing Tesla over him, and I'm not thinking twice about it.
No, you
Like,
you can't think you're not thinking
yeah,
twice about that.
yeah. So I am. He's a probably start. I guess he'll probably get you your points with, and he's got some upside capability there. They are playing the Vikings defense, so you take your options accordingly. So
But
let's.
going back
Oh
to
yeah.
Jefferson, there is so I'm in a standard league and I'm kind of teetering between him or Devin Neal in my flex spot in a must win.
Mm. In a
And
must
it's
win
standard.
standard.
Hmm.
I think I would still go Jefferson there. I
Yeah, I
think I
know.
would. Yeah, it's gonna
I know.
be ugly. You just hope he kind of maybe you hope he gets that touchdown, you know.
Yep.
All right, other options here. So we kind of mentioned a little bit of it. We're excited about Chris Rodriguez in general, and I know Tommy way way more than me. This is his one of his bigger wins this year. I don't know if I'm excited about him here, but excited about him in general. You feel the same way? Like,
Yeah, I'm excited for I mean, he's getting like I said earlier about like either Montgomery or Rodriguez. I think Rodriguez is going to get the touches. He's going to get more touches than Montgomery. I just don't know if he's going to do a lot with the touches this week. He may see like 14 touches for, 50 all-purpose yards and hopefully a touchdown. Whereas I think Montgomery comes out maybe 2 or 3 points ahead. That's why I think, his floor is a little bit less than Montgomery's, but I still feel pretty decent about him this week if you want to flex him.
okay. In the same game, Jones is going to be out, so Jordan Mason is fine. That's
Mhm.
probably the best way to say it. Jordan Mason is fine. Not
Just
a
don't
lot of
like him though.
not a lot of upside. Yeah, I mean, would you start Jordan Mason or Devin Neal? Like,
I think there's more upside with Devin Neal than there is with Jordan Mason.
okay. We already made a declaration for the Vikings that until we see, somebody like Justin Jefferson have some consistency, it's not worth starting anybody else for the Vikings. However, we'll just mention emergency Hawkinson, but the upside there is hugely capped. So,
Hmm. Yeah.
take of that what you will. We will say that excuse me. So Marcus Mariota, or as Chris Collinsworth would say, Mariota, if you're going to play him, he's perfectly fine. He gets it done regardless of whatever the matchups are. Maybe just, it's just going to be kind of plotting. He'll get some X amount of rushing yards, and he'll be fine by the end of the game. Don't expect 50 points out of him, but if you need him to, keep things safe for your team, he'll be fine. And stay away from McCarthy. Let's go to the next game. We've got the Indianapolis Colts at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Colts are road favorites, -1.5 points. The over-under is 47.5 points. This line has moved around a little bit too. This is going to be a good game. And you were kind of saying earlier in the week that you thought this would hit the under. I think this hits the over. I think both teams are going to be going out to go get this win here.
Well,
This
I
is the
mean,
AFC
both are going
South
to
on
go
the
out to get
line.
the win, but I think both defenses are going to step up a little bit.
Okay, maybe we have a difference of opinion there. I don't know if it changes how we feel about the options. Must starts in this game. You're playing Jonathan Taylor. We are waiting for that big blow up game again. It should happen. So let's keep our eyes on that. So you're playing
All you
Jonathan
can
Taylor.
do is hope.
Yes. And you're playing Ty Warren on the Jacksonville side. You're playing Travis Etienne and you're playing Doctor Strange. Let's go. He's in
Yep.
must start category now. Let's go. Doctor Strange himself, starring in some MCU movies. On the probably starts. You could probably start both of the Indianapolis wide receivers, Michael Pittman and Alec Pierce.
Which
Pierce is
I was quite interested. I don't know if you saw in our hometown league, but somebody dropped Pierce this
yeah,
past week.
yes, he did. The
And it's
mayor.
very interesting because that might change my opinion on somebody that I'm going to play if I'm able to pick him up. But I don't know if I'm able to pick him up because I'm probably the 12th waiver.
You probably are. Somebody else might be higher on the waiver order who may or may not be talking to you. One other probably start in this game. We talked about him, and we talked about him on the waiver show. Jacoby Myers. So
The law
Tommy,
firm,
the law firm himself. So Parker Washington is out. So all systems go here. Let's go, Jacoby Myers.
100%.
Um, let's go to other options here. And while we're on the wide receiver situation for Jacksonville, let's do a mention of Brian Thomas. I know that the production didn't merit it last week, but I was encouraged with how Brian Thomas looked. He looked athletic. He looked like he was back in the groove. He didn't look hurt at all. I got it. Maybe he's not the best route runner in the whole wide world, but he's still a super talented wide receiver. So I'm going to be
Um,
looking in this game to see how he performs, and in
yeah,
certain leagues, I'm going to be throwing him in there.
I don't know about that. I think that's very risky. Let's just put it this way. Like I'm playing, I have both Myers and Thomas, and I'm playing Myers over Thomas this week. There's no reason for me to even think twice about it.
Would you play Godwin over Thomas?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Um, on the Indianapolis side, I'm staying completely away from downs here. It's been a consolidation of targets. But let's talk about both of the quarterbacks. I think both of the quarterbacks are in streaming quarterback territory. I'd give a slight nod to um I guess to Trevor Lawrence because I know that Daniel Jones is a little bit hurt, right? So I wish that would have came out a couple weeks ago
He's
so
got a
that we knew what was going
fractured
on.
ankle or something like that, but he's playing on it. Very interesting.
Yeah, I think that completely caps his rushing upside. Otherwise, normally speaking, I probably would have been more on the Daniel Jones side. But I've been feeling better about Trevor Lawrence as of late. He's been pretty good as of late. So if I had to
And
go
and you got to remember this game is in Jacksonville. There is a definite chance of rain.
a
So
definite chance,
definite chance.
right?
Definite rain showers, it says.
A definite chance. This is very similar to the Jackson Dart had a full limited practice. That
Yep.
same kind of thing.
Definite rain chance.
If you had to play Trevor Lawrence or Tyrod Taylor, what did you land on?
Still going Tyrod.
All right. I've landed on like the options that I would play Tyrod over is not that many, but you can take of that what you will. Let's go to the next game. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are home favorites, -5.5 points. The over-under is 43.5 points. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have another must-start defense, the Ravens defense here. So, um, other must starts in this game. You're playing Derrick Henry. You're playing Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews, who's now, the paid Mark Andrews, who's got his second or third contract, whatever it is, which Tommy got
Ravens,
a kick
why
out
did
of.
you do that? Why would you do that? You're shopping him and then you're going to pay him. Like, come on, guys. Like, what are you doing?
His performance has been good since that point, you know?
Yeah, because they've just been throwing him in there as the basically a tight end one. He's the wide receiver one right now.
I guess.
Like what is going on? The guy is like 80 years old.
He's not. We got one must start for the Steelers, and that's Beast Jalen Warren himself. Let's go to probably starts, and let me tell you something right now. On both sides, these probably starts are disgusting. Pittsburgh, it's Metcalf. Um, there's really nothing left to say other than I guess you put him in there because the
And
upside is there, right?
do you know who was cleared off waivers to Pittsburgh?
Yeah, Adam Thielen, right? Yeah,
Legacy.
legacy Thielen.
And he came out saying this is his last year, this is his last ride. So he's
Right.
taking his last ride with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, God bless it.
Legacy.
Just two old men throwing beers on a
I'm telling you
porch. Like,
something. In 2 weeks, Legacy is going to be a championship go-getter.
we'll see. I will say for right now, it's gonna be still the Metcalf show, and hopefully he catches a slant and runs it for 50 yards.
Yep.
They got to figure out how to get him the ball more, and it's also on him. Like he just gives up, and but again, probably start Metcalf. On the Baltimore side, sorry, it doesn't get less disgusting. So Zay Flowers. So what was Zay Flowers' stat line last week? Do you remember?
No, because I don't care.
He finished with negative fantasy points. So
Exactly.
you would have been better if you started my grandmother if you would have played. Um
Yeah, he finished because of negative points. Wide receiver 157.
oh, that's just wonderful.
Yep. Good job.
So he's a probably start. It is what it is. You probably throw in again, I'd rather play Tesla than him. So you guys take it what you will.
100%.
And let's talk about Lamar Jackson, Tommy. We talked about this last week where you kind of mentioned some of the stuff that he was saying in interviews or whatever. I think he's full of it. I don't believe what he's saying. I don't believe and I think he's seriously hurt. The way he's playing, it's just slow.
It's not Lamar Jackson-esque. And unfortunately, they're just not giving the ball 25 times to Derrick Henry, which he needs.
Well, maybe they can't. Maybe they're sticking 8 in the box
This
with
is
a
a
spy
very
on
important
Jackson.
game for this team. If they lose this game to Pittsburgh, which can happen, if they lose this game to Pittsburgh,
Right.
their playoff hopes are starting to dwindle. And obviously, you have Cincinnati, who we'll be talking about in two more games.
Right.
If Cincinnati beats Buffalo this week, which is
Yep.
also a possibility,
Huge
which I
possibility.
really hope it doesn't, but
Right.
if that happens, there's a lot of mix up that's happening.
I got news for you. I don't know if I haven't officially made a bet yet on it or anything. I think this game hits the under, and I think Pittsburgh wins this game. I
I
have
can
been
I could see that.
I think Lamar Jackson is like hurt. And again, they just won't say it. But again, so we've got Lamar Jackson as a probably start because I guess we're giving Lamar Jackson, we're giving, John Harbaugh the sort of the benefit of the doubt of over years that we've kind of seen of them figuring things out and being good. But I'm not that crazy about it. I mean, I could name guys that I'd rather play over him. Like we haven't talked about Bo Nix. I'd play him over him.
Hey,
I,
I'm in some leagues. I'm in some leagues where Lamar Jackson is a possible drop, which is
I mean,
wild to
I don't
think
know if
of.
I'd drop him, but I'd play here. The guys that we have in probably starts. Would you play all of them over him?
I would play Sam Darnold over him. I would play Jordan Love over him. I'm not sure if I'd play Bo Nix over him though.
Okay, maybe that's the line. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not been pretty, guys. So judge your options as you have them. Yeah, sorry, it is what it is. Let's go to other options here. On the Steelers side, it's not like we're going to throw any of the guys in. We keep saying it every week. One of their tight ends is going to have a good week. Good luck figuring out which one, Freiermuth Janu or the biggest man in the world,
Stay away.
Washington. On the Baltimore side. I don't think that I would throw anybody else in either. It's just not been nice. Now I know that Likely had that big gigantic play against the Bengals and then he fumbled it or whatever it was. That's not going to happen here. That was against the Bengals. Is not going to happen against the Steelers. But keep an eye, you Derrick Henry owners, on Keaton Mitchell stealing a touchdown from Henry in this game, which will
Yeah,
surely make everybody happy.
that would be terrible.
All right. Let's go to the next game, which might be my second favorite game of the whole week. We've got the Tennessee Titans at the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are home favorites, -3.5 points. The over-under is 33 and a half points. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the lowest over-under of the entire year. Um, this is I'm actually
We all
excited.
thought the Raven, sorry, the Raiders Cleveland game was bad. This one is
Oh
going to
man.
be bad.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
This might be the week that actually that the Browns our defensive end come on, brother.
What, Miles Garrett?
Miles Garrett
That he
basically
breaks the
breaks the
record?
record.
He just might.
84 84 sacks.
So must start here. You're playing the Browns defense, and congratulations to everybody who's got the Browns defense. You might have won your week this week.
Wait, if you're in here, do you have if you have the Browns defense, give yourself a pat on the back.
Nice. Nice. There we go. So must starts also here. We have one other name, and that's Quinshawn Judkins. I don't know where Cleveland is going to get their points from, but it's I mean, probably going to come from Judkins. It's not going to come from anywhere else. It's
Yeah.
not like Shador's going to throw a party on them. They're not. And because of that, let's go to probably starts. We identified it on the waiver show. It's going to be disgusting, but given how low the line is, you could probably throw in the Titans defense there. So I think they're perfectly fine. We have
You want
nobody
to know what
else.
the weather's looking like in Cleveland?
Is it bad too?
Slight chance of snow showers.
Oh, because of course it is. Because of course. And I'm sure Cleveland is going to win the game like 13-10, and somebody's going to claim credit for it because he was the. We'll just leave it there. We won't need to get into all that. Other options here. I don't want to play a single other person in this entire game. We've already talked about it on the waiver show. We've got both Fannin and Njoku. We had them as drop candidates. I got it. Fannin caught a magical touchdown last week that saved his whole week. I don't want to play either of them here. I don't want to play the Speared Pollard experience. I don't want to play anybody here, right? Just let him go.
Yeah, I mean, I still
It's going to
feel
be hard for you to defend Spears on this
yeah,
one, though.
it's gonna be hard to defend, for me to defend Spears here, but honestly, I think that if you're looking for upside in the passing game, Cleveland hasn't been great in the passing game. Some quick dump off plays before Myles Garrett gets a sack. That might be the route.
Okay. No, I'm with you there. It's just, but just find better options. There's definitely better things that you could do.
I mean, if I got Isaac Tesla, I'm playing him over Spears this week.
Obviously, obviously. Let's go to the next game. This is going to be Tommy's favorite game here. We've got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo, our home favorites, minus 5.5 points. The over-under is a nice 53.5 points.
And there's likely snow showers here.
There is, but let me just tell you right now, this is another game that I want lots of pieces in. So must starts for the Bengals: Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins and Joe Burrow. You're playing the whole thing. Now we're gonna get to a mention of the T. Higgins situation, but for right now, if he's in, you play him. Buffalo side, two guys, James Cook and Josh Allen. They are the whole offense. You play them. Probably starts here. So we've got Dalton Kincaid as a probably start if he plays in the game. Actually, I have not been encouraged by what I've seen this week. He might not be playing. So
Mhm.
if he's not in, you don't play him. Uh, Now, I will say if T. Higgins doesn't play, I don't see how Yosivas is not a probably start, right?
I think if Higgins plays, Yosivas is not a probably
Right.
start. If it's the other, then I think he is a probably start Yosivas over Higgins not
Okay.
playing.
Okay. Well, let's get to other options then. There's a name on here that I was very close to a probably start, but just on principle after what he did last week or what didn't do last week, I couldn't put him in here. And that's Khalil Shakir.
I
But
think you still have to play him, man.
in a game where there's 20, right, their implied points is 29 and a half. I got it.
He's a low end wide receiver too for me this week. I think that he's been on and off all season pretty much, and this is his on week. So we'll see what
Would you
happens.
play him or Godwin?
I play Godwin.
Okay. Okay. I would play Tesla over him though, for sure. So I guess maybe I should move him to probably start. It's just why couldn't he do it last week? I don't know. I'll get off that. I'll get off that train.
It's not what happens last week. It's what happens now.
And pay attention to the Kincaid news. That will be big for your team. Just to reiterate, the Bengals are on pace for being the worst defense in history against the tight end position. So yeah, that would be good for Kincaid if that's the case. If Kincaid's out, I got it. Very, very deep league shot. You could take a shot on Knox, but what's happening is Knox is splitting with their third tight end, so it's capping the upside a little bit there. So
Yeah,
but
I could see Dalton Kincaid, Mr. Clean, having a decent game this week if he plays.
yep. All right. Let's go to the next game. We've got the Denver Broncos at the Las Vegas Raiders. The Broncos are road favorites, -7.5 points. The over-under is 40.5 points. So, yes, you're playing your Broncos defense. Other must-starts here. You're playing RJ Harvey. You're playing Cortland Sutton on the Las Vegas side. You're playing Ashton Jeanty. Just, adjust your expectations on that
I'm not
offense.
playing Asher Johnson this week.
You're not playing him because your other options in that league are Derrick Henry and Chase Brown. So,
And
yes,
I'm
but
looking for better upside at flex.
all right. Ashton Johnson for 99% of people is you're going to be throwing him in your RB2 spot. Um, One other must start in this game, and that's Brock Bowers. And we're hoping for a big game from Brock Bowers this week ourselves. So hopefully they can hold their own. This might
Hmm.
end up being a game. If you remember, what was the game that it was last time? It was 13-11.
I No, I mean, but again, Mariota threw some bombs
No, no,
on
no. I'm
Denver
talking
last.
about Denver, Las Vegas from
I
earlier
know,
this
but I'm
season.
saying last week, when it comes
Oh,
down
oh,
to
oh, oh.
Denver's
The Denver
defense,
defense.
they didn't look so great last week at Sunday Night Football. So,
They should have
now
lost the
could
game, really.
yeah, I mean, yeah, basically, Washington went for two in overtime, and
It
that
was
was what
close.
lost them the game.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. I think that, I'm hoping that there is a break moment with the Denver's defense, and Bowers does have a good week.
Yep. We got one probably starting this game, and that's Bo Nix. And, you know, we would like, here's the deal with Denver. We'd like to see some offense from them that happens in the first three quarters, basically. So hopefully that can happen in a game where their implied points is, fairly good, in a game where they're going to, you know, should beat this team. No questions asked. Bo Nix is fine. He's a very low end quarterback one here, maybe
Hmm.
borderline 1, 2, but I would start him over a lot of other guys. So that's where we've got him. Other options here. So top on that list, Troy Franklin. So Troy Franklin's been so good, and then he, had an off game. It happens as a wide receiver. That's what happens with wide receivers. I think he's too talented. He's being too used. Keep an eye. It looks like Pat Bryant got involved,
He did.
last week. So keep an eye on that. But for right now, Troy Franklin's still a good shot if you wanna go that route. Is there anybody else you'd be willing to take a shot on for the Raiders? I know some people like Tucker. I don't.
No, I mean, honestly, if you want a possibility of stability, that's pretty funny. Um,
To you. Yeah.
Lockett is the guy. But
Ugh,
I'm not super confident about that possibility of stability.
right. A full limited practice. Um, yeah, I'm not bothering with any of that. And please stay away from Gino. Let's go to the next game. This is another big game here. We've got the Chicago Bears at the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are home favorites, -6.5 points. The over-under is 44.5 points. And so, Tommy, I know you've got some, bold predictions about this game. Who wins this game?
Green Bay.
Green Bay, and they cover the spread.
Green Bay, and I think it's an under.
Green Bay, and it's an under. So yeah, Tommy's saying that the Packers are going to kill them. At least smash them.
Under in total points. That's what I mean.
Yeah. So for that reason, man, you play the Packers defense, especially given the line here. You're playing the Packers defense. You're playing Josh Jacobs, and on the Chicago Bears side, you can't walk away from it. You got to play DeAndre Swift. Let's go. Um, Probably starts here. Kyle Monongai. So, Tommy, you likened it to the years past of Gibbs and Montgomery about what they're kind of getting at here a little bit in Chicago. And again, it's Ben Johnson, and Monongai is super talented. That having been said, I'm a little scared that maybe both running backs are gonna, have good games in this. That having been said, it's hard to walk away from what Monongai has done the last however many weeks now, right?
It's hard, but honestly, I think that Green Bay's defense is a little bit more matured than the Eagles' defense, and I think that it's going to slow down slightly this week, meaning the Chicago Bears defense, Chicago's Bears offense. Green Bay's defense is going to ramp up. And this is a week where, you're looking at the game being 16 degrees. This is a frozen tundra game, no snow, sunny day, 16 degrees, feeling like probably 7 degrees. Um, it's a defensive game.
Right, but maybe for that reason, you'd want to get your hands on some of these talented running backs. So, it
Yeah,
is what
like
it is
Josh
what it is.
Jacobs.
It is what it is. Much lower tiered running back too that Monongai is. On the Packers side, okay, we kind of previewed this in the waiver show. We're gonna have Christian Watson here as a probably start, and but with an asterisk, just to say any one of these other Green Bay wide receivers could have a good game. Christian Watson is probably the highest likelihood of
Yeah,
having a good game.
because he is basically the big bodied guy that's taken over the tight end kind of target range as well too. So he's a guy that you want to plug in. He actually might be somebody that I might play over Isaac Tesla.
I would not, but it's a perfectly good point that you're sharing your confidence in Watson. And for that reason, given the line, given the over under, I mean, we stopped believing in Love a long time ago, and then he proved us right, and then last week he proved us wrong. So the point is that the potential is here for Jordan Love, and given the quarterback landscape, he's a good probably start in this game. Low end quarterback one. Um, Now everything that Tommy said is could perfectly come to fruition where it's a defensive game. It's colder outside, whatever. But I like Jordan Love in certain senses over. So I'd rather
I'll
play him.
predict the score being 24-10
Okay.
Green Bay.
Okay. You heard it here first. Other options in this game. We already discussed it. If you want to take your shot on Romeo Dobbs, Dontavian Wicks, or even an returning Jaden Reed, fine.
I would
Maybe,
not do it.
but I'm not going to do it. Good luck predicting who's going to have a good game. I'm sure one of them is.
Isaac Tesla, we played over all those guys.
All
The
right.
battery man himself.
On the Bears side, Tommy, this is going to be a big one on Sunday Live. So, what do you make of Roma Dunze and DJ Moore? Roma Dunze's been bad. DJ Moore's been bad.
I probably
Play
don't
neither.
play either of them.
Okay. And definitely not in a game like this.
But if I was forced, I probably go
If I
DJ
was
Moore.
forced, if it was forced, I would go with Dunze.
I go
Um,
DJ
but I would play Godwin over them, right?
100%.
Yep. Okay. Um, Colson Loveland, keep an eye on his uses. He could be fairly solid. So judge your tight end options as you have them. And Caleb's been good, and he is now going to be bad. So I would not be playing Caleb here. So judge your options as you have them. Let's go to the next game. We've got the LA Rams at the Arizona Cardinals. The Rams are road favorites, -8.5 points. The over-under is 48.5 points. So we've been here before. The Rams were 11.5 point favorites, road favorites last week, and they got stood up. I don't think the same thing is going to happen again here. I think the Rams maybe overlooked Carolina a little bit, and they paid for it. I don't think that's going to happen here. So you're playing
I
your
don't think so
Rams.
either.
You're playing your Rams defense. You're playing Kyren Williams. He had a weird injury thing. He's going to be fine. But if some weird thing he doesn't play, obviously you play Blake Corum. So Kyren Williams, you're playing Puka, you're playing Javonte, and you're playing still MVP favorite Matt Stafford. So let's go. On the Arizona side, we got one name, and that's Trey McBride. Play him and enjoy your 90,000 targets. Probably starts. So all of the guys we're going to talk about are on the Arizona side. All of them have injury considerations. If Trey Benson is in, he's you're probably trying to get him in, right, Tommy?
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't think it's going to happen this week, though. The more that's leaning, I think Bam Knight is the guy that's going to basically be the running back. But again,
So
I'm not happy with playing Bam Knight this week.
so maybe I could change your mind. If Trey Benson does not play this week, he can't come back this season. He's already exhausted his 21-day window.
Maybe he comes back, he suits up, and he doesn't play.
Okay, they're gonna
Because
go
we've seen
that
that before.
they're gonna go that route. Okay.
There's a possibility.
All right.
I would
Um,
steer clear away from playing him this week. He is not like, a Omarion Hampton, that could go in there and actually be productive. I want to see what I'm going to get from him because you saw what you got and then he got hurt. So, it wasn't like he had consecutive production opportunities.
I'm inclined to agree with you. You know what? I put notes for myself. I'm gonna adjust our rankings to take him off of probably because I agree with you. I hadn't considered just how bad it might end up being. Yeah, other probably starts here. So we've got two names, Harrison and Wilson. So I had initially thought, hey, Michael Wilson's a probably start if Harrison's out, but I don't know if I care that much anymore. I mean, Michael Wilson's just a target machine at this point. He's a good probably start. And if Harrison's in with the way Jacoby's playing, he's also a probably start, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I think Harrison has to, if he plays this week, he's going to be productive, but I think it's gonna be a really rough game. I think the Rams are gonna this divisional game, the Rams are
you think they
pretty much
bounce right
embarrassed.
back,
They're embarrassed from last week's
right?
loss, and I think they bounce right back. So
Okay. Well, let's get to the other options then. So, you mentioned it real quick. So, let's assume Benson's out. Bam Knight and Michael Carter with an extra for Bam Knight. Yeah, they're fine. I mean, would you rather play Bam Knight or Jordan Mason?
uh neither.
All right. I mean,
But
it's
if I'm
fine.
forced to start one, it's probably gonna be Jordan Mason.
Okay. Okay. I wouldn't be playing anybody else for the Cardinals on the Rams side. Listen, I feel a lot better about Colby Parkinson than Tommy does. I think the upside is there. I think he's the clear third target on that team.
I
You
don't think
could
it's needed this week.
maybe he's not needed. You guys could judge your options as you have them. But let's just do a quick convo on Jacoby Brissett. So Jacoby Brissett has been a quarterback one every single week that he started.
Not this week.
Okay, I got it. He's had some other bad matchups though, and he's came through. So I don't know if I think that's going to stop here. But I got it. Some of the other options that we've mentioned up to this point are better than him because we're playing the game. It's against the Rams, the line,
Yeah.
etc. But it's hard to walk away from him, right? Would you play Jacoby Brissett or Lamar Jackson?
Uh, I'll take the shot on Lamar Jackson.
I got
I guess
good
the
start
true
sits for you
I
this
guess the
week, man.
true question is, do I play Sam Darnold or Jacoby Brissett, and I'm playing Sam Darnold.
I think I would play Sam Darnold. I think
And
I
then
would.
another question, I would say if it's either Jacoby Brissett or Tyrod Taylor, and I'm going for the shot on Tyrod Taylor this week.
Man, I would go for Jacoby Brissett. I would. Um,
I don't know, man. I just think that he's gonna have to throw the ball 50 plus times to get you the fantasy garbage points that you need.
but he is. That's what he's doing.
I know. I don't know if it's going to be a productive game for them. I just he may throw the ball 45 times, and I'm just not sure if it's enough.
I'm going to predict the final score of this game, 31-17 Rams.
31-10 or something like that. It's
Maybe.
not it's not enough.
Give Jacoby more credit. He's been doing really well with that team.
Yeah, no, he definitely has. But again, if we're feeling this really hot about the Rams this week, I just don't know if it makes sense. I don't know if I can throw my eggs in that basket if I'm feeling that hot about that defense.
Okay. Let's go to the next game. We've got the Houston Texans at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are home favorites minus 3.5 points. The over-under is a paltry 41.5 points.
24 degrees,
24
Sunday Night
degrees.
Football.
So must start Chiefs defense. And
Must start
I really think the Chiefs like the
Houston defense.
now. I don't know about that. I think they're probably a decent probably start. I'll add them to our list, but I just will say the way I see this game going is this is an embarrassed Chiefs going in to make a statement in their home crowd
I don't know about that.
after Thanksgiving. This is Mahomes. They're not going to take what's been happening to them this season
Houston
laying
needs to
down.
win as well too. So
I know.
I don't. It's not the narrative is not on the Chiefs. The narrative is on both teams. It's a must win for for
Okay.
both teams. Now, do the Chiefs sneak this one out? I don't know, but honestly, I think Houston's defense is too good.
Okay. Okay. Well, we got the Chiefs as a must start. We've got Rashee Rice, we got Travis Kelce, we got Patrick Mahomes himself. Houston side, we've got one name that's Nico Collins. On the probably starts, I'm happy to add them to the probably starts. The Houston Texans defense. I'm a little bit worried about Patrick Mahomes just saying, screw it, I'm going nuclear. But okay,
It's not
they're
happening.
they're too good of a defense. We got one probably start on the Chiefs side, and that's Kareem Hunt. So even when Hunt and Pacheco 50-50 each other, like Hunt is still the more valuable guy, it seems like,
Yeah.
because he gets the ball around the goal line and he
Yeah,
gets
he's
those
inside the
valuable
20. He's
passing
inside the
stuff.
20 and he's going to get the some of the pass catching opportunities. So, Hunt
Absolutely.
is definitely the valuable guy. Even if it's 50-50, I'd still lean Hunt.
Yep. Other options here. So the Chiefs have a treasure trove of these like wide receivers that you could throw in. Would you be willing to throw in Worthy, Hollywood, or Juju?
No,
Okay, not at all. Not even worth the consideration.
not even a thought.
Okay, would you play any of them or Tez Johnson?
I wouldn't play any of them.
All right, any of them or Cooper Cup?
Maybe Cooper Cup.
All right, it's that level of unhappiness with it.
Hmm
I wouldn't roll with Pacheco here. It's
I'm gonna
stay
tell you
away.
something right now. I think this is gonna hit the under total score.
So do I, but
It's gonna be a defensive game, and whoever is gonna be able to pull it off as at the quarterback position and take control for at least one really strong end of game drive is gonna win this game, and I think Houston pulls it off.
I think the Chiefs win. But okay.
Okay.
Other options on the Texans side. So the big question here is, Marks has been good, and then he did not have some good game. So this is going to be a tough matchup for him at the Chiefs here. So he's probably, I kind of mentioned him earlier. Would you rather play Montgomery or Marks? And I believe you said Montgomery. Um, so he's Marks or Devin Neal.
Devin Neal.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup for him here. So, you know, maybe one of the running backs, pops in the end zone, but it's going to be a tough matchup. So
Hmm
really, I know people have been relying on him. So maybe see if you could see what your other options are. I know that we've been talking up Jaden Higgins on the Texans side, but I don't think this is a game that I would go for him here. Like we said, if we think this is going to be a defensive battle, then this is not where. But he's super talented. Look for him after this game for Jaden Higgins. Maybe you'll be able to acquire him. Dalton Schultz, Tommy, he's always an option at tight end. He'll get some targets, he'll get some production. It's just I don't know how big the upside is, but
I think he gets maybe 5 targets for 4 receptions and 26 yards.
4 for 26, that's the Hawkinson line right there.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll see how the game goes. And this is a game in which I would not want to start CJ Stroud, but pay attention for him for rest of season. So he could be a good streamer for rest of season. Let's go to the final game of the week. We've got the Philadelphia Eagles at the LA Chargers. The Eagles are road favorites, -2.5 points. The over-under is 41.5 points.
Mhm.
Before I say anything else, who wins this game, Tommy?
Honestly, I want to see Chargers win this game, but
I know you do, but I
I
think
think Philly pulls this out. And I think this hits the over in points. Um, Even with the injured Herbert, I think that they're going to be competitive, very ultra competitive home. And this honestly, and not just is not for hope, but I do think that this is a breakout game for Barkley.
okay. We're holding out for hope there. I will say that before I mention any of the players, is it confirmed that Justin Herbert's going to play in the game?
Yeah, he's leaning to play. He had the surgery. It was screws in a metal plate in his non-throwing hand, and he's leaning to play this week. It is a Monday night football game, and I think it's a really strong shot that both Hampton and also Herbert play.
Well, I wanted
Um,
to mention that because definitely the way that I think about a lot of these guys changes if it's Trey Lance at quarterback here. So if we're gonna talk about this game as if Justin Herbert's playing.
mhm.
So, but you guys need to adjust things if that's not the case. And Tommy will be talking about that a lot on Sunday Live if we get that breaking news. So, let's just get to it. The must starts. We got Barkley, we got AJ Brown, and we got Jalen Hurts. On the Chargers side, one must start. That's Lad McConkey. Um, on the probably start category, you got the Eagles defense here. So yeah, not that many implied points for the Chargers. I'm not that crazy per se, but it's the Eagles. They find ways to make themselves valuable. So Eagles defense probably start. You got Devonte Smith at wide receiver and tight end Dallas Goedert. Uh, there's always a chance that one of them doesn't have a good game, and even AJ Brown, but you take your shots as you do with the Eagles.
Mm.
On the Chargers side, we got Omarion Hampton as a probably start. He should be back this week. We've said it a bunch, but this is when it really should happen. And it's hard to, you've been holding on for him for this long. You want to get him right in there, right? If you got him, like
I thought he should have played last week, but and it was a pretty good matchup for him last week compared to what the matchup is here.
Vidal
But
crushed it.
yeah, so I think that this is a game that he definitely does come back because they need that extra push. They need to win this week. And both teams technically need to win this week.
Yep. No issues like playing Hampton over Montgomery, for example. Like you're gonna
No,
wait on Hampton even if you have Montgomery.
yeah, I hopefully have other options just in case, but I think Hampton is going to play this week. I think it's like a 95% sure he's playing this week. That's why they
Okay.
held him out last week.
Let me give you an example of some things that people might have. In my other league, I actually have Hampton. He was in my IR spot for a long time. And I had to move him out because I had moved Garrett there. So I have to wait until Monday to make a decision on a flex. My options are basically Hampton, Khalil Shakir, and how about that? Hampton versus Khalil Shakir flex.
I would go Hampton
You'd
over
wait on
Shakir.
Hampton.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It's that kind of thing. How about Hampton versus Debo on flex?
I mean, I may play Debo. I think Debo's going to have a decent week. He had a slightly down week last week. I think he's going to be a little bit more on the uptick of script. So that's probably where I'd go Debo over Hampton.
Okay. I know a lot of people are in similar positions like that. So if hear what Tommy's saying, for certain scenarios, it's worth waiting on Hampton. And
Yeah, I'm in a league where I'm playing Devin Neal potentially over Hampton this week. Potentially. It may change in the next couple days. Um, Based on, if it's guaranteed that he's playing, I'm going to play him over, but I think it's that close.
okay. One other probably start here, and that's Oronde Gadsden. So not the best game last week, but they didn't really need him that much. So they're going to need him in this game. So roll unless you got some crazy tight end options, you could roll with Oronde Gadsden. Um, so let's go to the other options here. On the Chargers side, I think Keenan Allen, we had him as a drop candidate. It's a no-go for us. So we're not even gonna, I'm not gonna recommend him as a
It's
throw.
funny. I was about to actually say I could see this being a decent game for Keenan Allen coming back Monday Night Football here under the
I,
bright lights because we know what happens under the bright lights with Quentin Judkins
well, then maybe we'll have a
Johnson.
difference of opinion. I think Quentin Johnson could be a decent shot here. It seems like the type of game they would need him
The
more.
lights shine too bright on Monday Night Football.
It seems like they would need him. You take your shots as you have them. I think Quentin Johnson is a perfectly fine shot. I would take a shot on him you know, over Tez Johnson. I would take a shot on him way over those like emergency late shots. I would not take a shot on him over Yosivas if Higgins is out. Definitely not over Tesla. Definitely not, yada yada. So you judge your options as you have them. Um, Eagles side, no real need to talk about any of the other options there. We talked about it. But I did just wanted to reiterate on the Justin Herbert stuff. Assuming Justin Herbert's in, how high or low? Like, would you play Herbert or Lamar?
I'd probably play Herbert.
Okay, Herbert or Brissett?
Herbert.
Okay, Herbert or Tyrod?
Herbert.
Okay, okay. This is good.
I'm
This is an
not going
interesting.
that low.
This is an interesting week for start sits, man. It's really
It's
really
week
interesting.
14. That's, this is what we've been prepping for, right?
I
So some teams are already in, but some teams need to make these big decisions and make these shot calls and hope that they actually hit, and the logistics behind the shot call are, they're better than whatever you can get at this point. You could see exactly how some of these players have been producing. You could see if some of them have been fluky. You could see if some of them have been as consistent as they should. And that's what you're doing now. You're taking your shot and you're hoping for that win.
Yep. This is it, man. This is week 14. this is go get it time.
Yep. And
Yeah.
next week is win or go home. Actually, some leagues it's win or go home this week. This may start your technical playoff.
Yeah, there's some interest. Yeah, there are some leagues that have that like an extended thing.
No,
Um,
I'm saying, if you
no, you're
don't
right.
win, you may be out and you may not
Right.
be in might not be in the show. So time to put in.
Well, that's all of our guys. We kind of broke down everything, and yeah, just to reiterate, all of our must starts and probably starts as they stand today will be posted in the description of this episode's video on YouTube. So please check this out there, if you need to see everything listed out all nice. And Tommy on Sunday is going to be, and I'm sure I'll be joining unless there's some other thing going on, is going to be taking everybody through all of what would otherwise be the changes for injuries, etc. And there's a lot of them. So please
Yep.
tune into that on Sunday. Closing thoughts?
Yeah, we truly appreciate everybody that takes the time to watch our videos. If you could please share, like, and subscribe, we would appreciate it.
Yes, we would. Thank you very much, everybody. Good luck.
Thank you very much.